Hello and welcome to Monday, 12th of August. Almost lunchtime. Been picking already. A fairly busy weekend as it turned out, which is great. If you've watched last week's vlog, you'll kind of know what happened over the weekend. But we are starting the week at 518,712, under the 14,000 lots still. A tricky one to get back up above, to be honest, without really putting in an awful lot of used, which we just don't have the room for. The vlog went up as always over the weekend. We're up to 1,300 subscribers, actually gone past that. There was a fair old little spike of them over the weekend, pretty much based on the Endor Chase part out video, which is interesting because it kind of started slow and then it just kicked off over the weekend. This week's vlog perhaps a little bit behind where we've been in the past. What's happening on the desk is the usual mess of stuff everywhere. That all needs tidying up. And I have kind of got ready for the performance video, that's what I was trying to say, over the weekend as well, done all the workings out. So here's kind of the snapshot of where we are. The big kind of breaking news really there was the performance of WA this month really shot up and actually outdid Queensland and came very close to pipping Victoria as well. They were almost in second place by a couple of orders, which is incredible. New South Wales retaining top spot for the second month running, which is, again, is a real shift in the kind of the behaviour. Not sure what's happening in Queensland and Victoria. They were dominating, especially Victoria, for so long. But a little shift there, perhaps new players, perhaps bigger stores, perhaps more inventory available on that side of the country. Who knows? So we started the month way back just under the 500,000. We started over 14,000 lots. Obviously it's taken a bit of a hit. Bricklink fans were up a little bit better than the month before, which is good. Average sales per day kind of returned to a more normal level. Obviously kind of that 6 level has been kind of where we've aimed for, so 6.4 is actually higher than it had been all year. So yeah, I didn't really realise that. In terms of items sold, fairly steady, definitely an improvement on June and a little bit down on April and May, but as you'll see from the performance video when that's uploaded, well, it will be uploaded already, so go and watch that. You'll see how much of an impact kind of adding all of that used has made. And total orders, by far the largest we have ever had, at 197. Back in October we had 180, but 197 is a big jump from April and May, those kind of well performed months, with lesser parts. Yes, there was a lot of orders and a lot of them kind of felt quite small, but equally there was a lot of big orders. And again, the performance video kind of will talk to the differences between July 24 and July 2023. YouTube subscribers was started at 1,270. We're obviously at 1,300 and something now. The views fairly steady, kind of, especially as I've not been doing those minifigure shorts, which you know you can pretty much add 400 or 500 a day by doing those. And Instagram followers nudging up again. Good fun for a bit of interaction on there, which is really nice. So kind of an overview of where July was. Yes, we're almost in the middle of August, but bringing you up to speed, as they say. So still got 5 orders to pick, including the monster one that came in over the weekend. So there's a good rest of my day doing all of that, but I have run out of workspace because I need to tidy up all of that. So we'll just take a quick rip-roar through the orders that are in, and then kind of I'll be able to do the postage for these, create some space and be able to get stuck into those. A couple of these blue hinges, are they hinges? What are they? Yeah, hinge plates, and one of those transclear dome. That one is just some black minifigure neck braces with the back panel. A minifigure part, a cup, and some other assorted parts in that one. This one I was missing one piece, but predominantly minifigure parts and a Star Wars figure there. Bit of a mix in there of what there is. Some plant parts and a used black brick in that one. Instructions are this one. So we've got a couple of microfighters, we've got Majesto's castle, and then we've got the classic 75055 Star Destroyer, probably inspired by the little mini one that they've brought out now. This one kind of a lot of plates, so black, sand blue, a lot of dark tan, a little bit of yellow and stuff like that. But yeah, kind of an interesting mixture. Quick and easy one, kind of some 6x6 dishes and some headlight plates. This one a Harry Potter sticker sheet, and then a whole bunch, or clearing me out in fact, of tan 2x2 tiles and a whole bunch of light blue grey tiles and plates in there. This one all black kind of slopes, some curved slopes and some of those newer slopes. You know, the kind of the, where is it? If I can see it. These kind of, no that's not it. These new ones that are on Speed Champions and stuff. This one a whole lot of red with a little bit of pearl, gold, cheese slopes in there. This one I'm thinking is the original Boba Fett's slave. Just has that feeling. That shooter, those pistols are usually Jango Fett's. Is it Jango Fett's slave? That's probably what it is. That cupboard lives on the side of the ship, so I kind of think that's probably what that is. This one is off to the States. 3 Wolverines, obviously probably inspired by the Deadpool Wolverine movie at the moment. A City minifigure, and clearing me out of the Light Nugget mini doll heads. So, as often is said, everything sells eventually, and that's the case with that one, and a wheelchair, which I can't remember what set that was in, but there it is. And then this one is a little selection of, I've got tangled up here, hang on, there we go. A little selection of tan tiles and bricks, some flat silver axe heads, and then a whole bunch of light blue grey bricks with a couple of Technics in there and some of these drawers. So yeah, like kind of sold one in there, sold 3 in there. There's some axe heads in there, and they were in another order somewhere. Not sure where that was now, but they were somewhere. So yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 there, 5 to go, 19 over the weekend. Probably about on the usual average, isn't it? And a fairly good mix. I mean, some of these are really large orders, some of them are quite small, so just goes to show kind of definitely a good mixture of that. The week ahead I've got work that I'm going to be doing this week, so there isn't going to be an awful lot of time for getting stuff into the store. The number of orders that are due, the inlay trays are due for that. Myself and Mrs. Brickroad are going to do the video that goes with these things and hopefully get that out at the weekend. And there's obviously a whole bunch of stuff to be parted out. I made some room in here by moving things up and behind the instructions, so kind of the sets that can you see back there, the sets that are kind of to sell in the store have now moved up there, freeing up some room in there. So now I can kind of sort this stuff out as we try and work through what's going to get listed on eBay, like the TIE Fighter helmet or the hauler and things like that, or what we're going to part out. So there's that kind of stuff to figure out, and then there's all that stuff back there as well, which is to get done as well. So yeah, lots to do, so I'm going to get on with that. It is Monday evening, finished picking, and it has taken me an eternity, such is the scale of these orders. Start with the smallest, just a few mix of new and used parts, and then we're into kind of the chunky ones. So a whole bag of light blue grey, bit of a mixed kind of bag here of white, blues, some medium nuggets, a whole lot of dark blue grey and some black in that one. This one, again, very orderly. One bag with kind of some used in it, then some blues. This one getting the tile, black, dark blue grey, a whole lot of green, tan, dark tan, and some light blue grey there. Biggie on the dark tan front, seriously clearing me out of an awful lot of things there. A bag with greens in it, some plants, but mainly dark green. A whole raft of dark orange, a lot of sand green, a mixture of bits and pieces in that one, and a little smattering of used. And then the 3,000, how many was it? 3,836 part order is a massive wodge of white, a massive wodge of light blue grey, some blues and some bright light orange. This one getting the tile, obviously. Light aqua, some plant stuff, a whole load of reddish brown, medium nougat for all of you that love me how I say that. Some dark blue grey, loads of windows and things in trans clear, some bright light pink flowery things, tiny little bit of black, whole load of tan. There's the used from that order, kind of all sorts in there, a load of pearl gold and some red. Pretty chunky order, that one. There is one more order, well, two more orders come in. It's actually three, because one of them is the same buyer. He's just placed two orders on Brickowl, upgraded from a domestic letter to a parcel. Other than that, that is it for the day. Tomorrow will be limited store activity because I've got work that I need to get on with. So I'm just going to get the post done for these, get them all packed up so that they can go to the post first thing in the morning. It is Tuesday. I'm not actually picking any orders today because I'm doing work. But I did these two last night and they're getting collected and I need to go to the post office, obviously. So I just thought I'd kind of quickly show you. So first up is a whole bunch of Star Wars instructions, mainly little ones, kind of the old battle packs, microfighter, a couple of these kind of play sets that had the firing action, bounty hunter, something from the Solo film. There's the other one of that, and the TIE Striker even from Rogue One in that one. So a nice little selection of instructions which have been going very well recently. And then there's some more in this one. Old school, is it a Clone Walker or something like that? Anyway, probably inspired by the Mandalorian Grogu trailer, in which Mandalorian and Grogu were steaming down a snowy hill in one of those. And the other one is the Rebels TIE Fighter. I think it has a more fancy name than that, but they don't put the names on the instructions, do they? I never really noticed that before. Anyway, good set. Recently picked it up in that haul. There's also some parts in this one, a bit of a mixed bag, but one printed tile and some other circular tiles. But yeah, so those two heading out the door. This one's going to get collected in the next 15 minutes or so. There are a whole bunch of orders that have come in, 4 from Brickowl, which are all from the same buyer, a couple last night and a couple this morning. So once I've picked all those tomorrow or tonight, I'll figure out the postage for all of them, and a couple on Bricklink at the moment, which isn't too bad for a Tuesday. Yes, one buyer has kind of placed 4, so it kind of makes it look better than it is, but it's good for the stats, which I also need to record or get finished the performance video. The tray inlays are meant to arrive today from the postman. We shall see. We know how that usually goes. It means I'll have to go and collect them. But if that does, that'll be another thing to kind of cover off tomorrow, when I will try and do a little bit more. But again, it's going to be a quiet day tomorrow, so just a quick catch up and I'll speak to you later. Well, as ever, the Australia post driver didn't deliver, but I was going to the post office and he was still at the post office dropping off 12 parcels less than 4 minutes after he said he couldn't deliver. Amazing how he can empty an entire van, drive halfway across the village area, suburb, get to the post office, drop it off, unpack his van, and still... Anyway, had it out with him there, and then... Oh, it boils my blood. Kind of... He's yet to deliver a single parcel. Anyway, I'm not going to get on a rant. There's a car full of trays for the drawers, and this is being delivered. I've actually almost forgotten that I'd ordered this, or whether it was on backlog or whatever, but I do love the build of this. It looks exquisite. I had, if you remember way back, the Big Ben set. I bought it from that auction that I paid too much for and didn't really make any money on. But kind of when this came out, I thought it was a beautiful set, and quite a historic building. And kind of goes with the whole modular architectural thing that I do love as a collector and stuff like that. But it is a monster box. Kind of, I've seen it in the store, but I didn't really remember it was this big. But it has come in one of these ready to ship boxes. Which is good because it's something to protect it in when you put it in storage. So we've got all of those in, so can make a start on that once I've finished doing the work. I don't think there's any more orders come in so far, but Mrs. Yellow Brick Road has just finished her Father's Day special video, which I need to put together and get uploaded for her. She's making her YouTube debut, and it's a first for the channel as well, in that nobody's ever kind of appeared on screen previously. I certainly haven't. What else came whilst we were busy? I got another couple of these. Again, these were gifts or purchases from parts orders, so they're for the store. And I picked up another one of the shields. I just need to get the duck now, and then I've got the set. So not that I'm that fussed about them, but kind of I figured if you're going to get them, you should really get the set. The space one's the only really good one. Anyway, as ever, there's just mess everywhere. I need to have a bit of a tidy up at some point. But there's work to be done. So if you haven't checked out the beautiful Mrs. Yellow Brick Road and her first of her video content for the channel, as she gets more involved in the store, then please do. And you know, we're developing a strong female representation in the Lego community, which is really good, along with kind of the likes of Bricks for Leisure, who was the very kind donator, gifter, whatever the right phrase is, of the beautiful sign that is living up there. So yes, kind of doing our bit to bring more female representation to the AFOL community and Bricklink especially. So yeah, that's preachy, isn't it? Anyway, I'll get on with some proper work, shall I? Now, because I'm easily distracted, and when there's things I could be doing in the store rather than the work, I tend to get distracted. I'm just going to demonstrate kind of the space saving ability of these 15 compartment trays that go in there. So this is kind of the setup that we had whilst we were waiting for the delivery. So I've been using these takeaway containers and these other pots that came from IKEA, and you could get different configurations of them. The maximum you could get in was these small ones, which would be 9, was it 9? 3s and 3s? Yeah, because there wasn't enough for 4, so you only got 9 of these in. So kind of this configuration seemed to be almost the optimal, where you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 larger ones. 5 larger ones and 2 smaller ones seem to be kind of like the optimal size, which will now transfer into the kind of proper, really useful box company inlay trays. So we'll I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you kind of how much more room we have. And there we have it. Those 7 now into the tray. It's total space saving, because in we go with the tray, and we've got a heap of room left for other stuff, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan from here on in, really. Just kind of consolidate kind of drawers that have been going on, make some more room, free up some of these perhaps for picking and sorting and stuff like that. But yeah, these inlays and these drawers, whilst they are on the expensive side compared to other solutions, they certainly do create great room. Interesting to know that kind of 3/4 of one of these takeaway containers is pretty much a full one of those, so good to know as I go through more and more drawers around those. But yeah, oh, it's satisfying. It is Thursday, mid-morning, let's say. Tuesday and Wednesday were pretty much chewed up with other work, so there has been no picking going on, and as a result, unexpectedly, there has been quite a significant amount of orders, taking us down to 512,541. Deliveries have arrived with parts to go in the store. Gifts with purchases have arrived, PAB orders have arrived, but none of that has gone in the store yet because I've been so busy doing orders. There are 23 orders to pick, 924 lots, 6,162 items, which is a fair old amount to get through. Where is the store? There it is. Sadly, I've managed to make a few mistakes over the last few days, and Computer 073 from New Zealand was on, well, left neutral feedback without actually getting in touch, which really did take the wind out of my sails last night when I read that. I managed to send a couple of parts in the wrong colour and he didn't reach out to try and resolve that, just went straight to the feedback. And it's been, I think there's 4 mistakes I've made in the last little while, and I even know why. If I can find an example. Let's try this one. One of the problems I've had is with the new printer. Turn that over. Yeah, so I need to kind of try and calibrate it or something, because the printer's printing out quite dark for dark bluish grey. It is looking black, and white is looking like light blue grey in the visual. Now I know I need to be paying more attention and looking at the detail because it's written right next to it with more scrutiny. But yeah, it's my error. There is an example there, kind of that looks like light blue grey at quick glance. And if you don't spend the time, then, you know, and use this little box here, then I'm making errors. So I've got 4 of those that I've made in the last while, and I think kind of I can blame the printer if I want, but it's my mistake. So deliveries down there that need sorted out, a gift for purchase over here that needs sorted out as well, and inventory still hanging over from the other day that needs to get sorted as well. Over on YouTube, obviously it's been a busy little while on there. Luckily much of that is kind of pre-done. We're ticking along nicely, kind of still increasing the followers. The Simba part out went up, and there's been some good comments on that. Obviously Mrs. Yellow Brick Road's video's gone up, lovely comments on that as well, which is great. Glad people are kind of liking that. I know it's very different from everything else that's been on the channel. And I had a question earlier today from Odebeck, I'm going to say that is, about whether or not I only had all of the parts in this room, and he's kind of surprised that I can get that many parts in such a small space. It's a fairly big room, I thought, but I thought I'd quickly just run through, for those of you that haven't been for a long while, how the store is set up. So we have this 4-meter desk that runs along here, and we have all of the small drawers here. So these are smaller parts, and some of these are entirely one type of part, and others will be kind of consolidated types, like rocks like that, or others might be mixed, depending on how things come in. So if I'm parting out a new set and there's the odd 1 and 2 of a part, it might find its way into a drawer mixed up like that with different parts, so I don't get them confused. So there's all of those that run along there, and then underneath that are stacks of these in 9s, of which there are 72 in total of these, and each of these, well, the majority of these, has parts in, apart from the first 4, T1 to 4, and they are all minifigures. So all of these are minifigures, and these are either individuals, so you've got spacemen, troopers, shock troopers, all of that in there, or you've got just randoms down there, so they're all that. And then the other ones, I've got these inlay trays, which I've just got a new order of, and in fact put 6 of those in this morning, which is why I've got a pile of these on my desk, because that's all the trays that those 6 had. So all of those go along there, and these are kind of mixed up between plates and bigger things and things of volume, and my system pretty works to that point. I'll come back to that, that you kind of fill up one of these with a single type, and if it needs more than that, then it transfers over to a full drawer of one of these. Now some of these are split. Let's find a good example, like this one. So there's all tan in the back, and then there's mixed tan at the front and mixed at the back, and we have 270 or something of these big drawers here. And then underneath so much mess in here, it's actually starting to stress me out. I have bigger bins, there's 8 of those down there, which have parts which are too big, or B5 for instance is all wheels, 6 and 7 are window parts, 8 is panels, things like that. Okay, then I'll start this side because it doesn't really matter. I also have 2 types of containers, and these are from IKEA. There are 5-litre containers, so these are things that I have on volume. So some things like 1x3 plates that are frequently purchased, like white, light blue grey, dark blue grey, black, get their own. 2x4 bricks like that get their own. Dark blue grey have got all of its own, and things like that. So there's a whole raft of those. How many of those have we got? 72 of those running along there, down there, and a shelf out the back here that you'll see in a minute. And then I have 4 of these, which are for minifigure parts and minifigure accessories in some shape or form. Although some minifigure parts have gone into drawers on some occasions. Okay, so here is the other shelf with all of the 5 litres on it, and everyone that's been around for a long time will know that this is the shelf that's held together with glue, that I re-drilled all the holes to make it the right heights. Okay, on this side of the shelves is the 2-litre containers, of which there are 114, I think. And these are similar to the 2-litre tubs, but smaller volumes. They generally are all mixed up, different colours, but frequently used parts, which are pretty good. And as you can see, there's a fair few of those. And then down here we have these drawers, which are essentially meant for kind of tool parts, I think. And I use these for pieces of minifigure accessories or printed things, just things that are a bit bigger than would kind of normally fill one of the smaller drawers that we saw at the beginning. And I have a spare one of those tucked away here. Okay, so far so good. Now, in terms of parts, we also have overflows and plates and things like that don't fit anywhere. And I have 18 overflow boxes, of which there are 15 under there. And they range, 2 of those are actually minifigures, 3 of them are actually minifigures, OF17, OF18 and OF5, sorry, and OF15 is the latest minifigure one. And then the others include plates, door frames, bulkier things that don't fit anywhere else. And that continues up here in these cupboards. So I do have quite a lot of space out of sight, which is perhaps why it's a little bit deceiving. So there's 3 more there, and then there's 3 containers which are like extras of stuff that need to go in the store, which were all meant to get decanted out in February when the new drawers came, but they didn't because we didn't have the trays to go in them. Now, in any other situation I would start doing that now, but because we've got 20 odd orders to do, I need to crack on with the orders. Instructions up there, there's instructions 10 and 11, and they do take up a lot of room because there are another 9 instructions here. And I don't know whether you can see, and behind all of those are boxed sets which are for sale in the store. Oh, right, so that's all of that. And then if I move this ladder out of the way, because I'm not the tallest fella, in this cupboard we have more spare parts. I think they're the used 48 by 48 base plates. Some more sets that are for sale in the store, poly bags, business cards, my slightly strange Funko Pop Star Wars collection there, and then sets which I actually need to start working through, and the objective is to do that next week, to start on this monster task of figuring out what we're doing with all of that. That C3PO down there is actually mine to build, because there's 2 over here to be parted out. Oh, yeah, there's a lot, isn't there? And then whilst we're in the cupboards, the final cupboard is packaging. So we've got all the different boxes that we've got there, and then up there are some more parts, some bubble wrap, and some partially built sets of mine that I'm really meaning to get back to building so that they can go up here with the other random assortments. Now, the final piece of the jigsaw is my used stuff. So used is just in this kind of column and some random drawers down here now, but could be centralized soon. And used is kind of sorted in a different way because I don't have the space to do this twofold for new and used. So plates, Technic, random parts, bigger weird parts, technical I know, 2x plates, some large, some more 1x plates which actually would fit in there now, bricks, 2x bricks, 1x bricks, and then other colours where there isn't quite so much used at this stage have been broken down into other things. So that's all dark grey and light grey stuff, dark brown, dark reddish brown even, dark red, orange, green, dark blue, sand blue, you get the idea. And so it goes on really. So most of that, there's a couple down there that aren't, and then there's a few more over here. Light blue grey has an awful lot. So there's Technic bricks, they are light grey, 1x plates, Technic, unusual plates and stuff, and then there's 2 more drawers down there which are all light blue grey. And that is how you fit 500,000 parts into what used to be mine and Mrs. Yellow Brick Row's bedroom. So enough of that. I should get on with the orders. It's going to have to be done in batches because I'm never going to have enough room to do all of this. So I'm going to start with the errors and get them out of the way, and then do the small orders, get them all packed up, and then I'll show you as we fill up the bench, because it's going to take a while. I mean, 900 and something lots. I mean, that is a full day and then some, isn't it? So the sooner we start, the sooner we get through it, and I need to be extra careful because, as we know, my accuracy has not been great recently and I don't feel very good about that. So things to work on. Okay, the first 9 picked, and I'm paying for my messiness because I haven't moved all of that stuff, so there's limited desk space. You know, I've taken a meter out with all this stuff. How things get on top of you. I sound a bit of a miserable git this week, don't I? Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, here we are, the 9. 120 1x3s, 120 1x1 black bricks. 2 of those, what are they called? Plate modified with 1x4 offset in black. Pretty rare, it seems. A bunch of white parts, obviously someone building some kind of speeder, I would say Star Warsy. A whole bunch of smaller parts, domestic leather kind of shipping, and then into a bunch of minifigures. So 2 from the collectible minifigures series 26. I don't know the names of them. M-Tron and Ice Planet Explorer. This one has a bit of a medieval feel to it. A couple of kind of knights, leg assemblies, a minifigure head, a lance, and 2 green plates. Anniversary minifigures here, Darth Malak and Saw Gerrera. I was re-watching Andor the other night, and Saw Gerrera in that awesome show. That one clearing me out of Saw Gerrera's, so I'll have to get some more of them in. And then a whacking great Star Wars minifigure order. First Order Troopers, Scarif Stormtroopers. Are they Stormtroopers or Shore Troopers? I think, aren't they? Your bog standard kind of Imperial type fella. Some of those Battle Pack minifigures, a Scout Trooper and 4 of the Snow Troopers, and then 2 Death Troopers, which were in Andor as well. And then a first sale of any railway parts, track parts anyway. 4 straight parts, some plates, one of those without the stud notches. Those 6x6 dishes continuing to be very popular. And then a little random assortment of bricks in that one. So there's the first 9, plus the 4 that I've managed to make a bit of a cock up on. And that's us, really. There was one other where the buyer had ordered a Kanan Jarrus minifigure head, and I can't for the life of me find it in the box. It's not in the minifigure head box, and it's not in the Star Wars parts box. And I don't remember parting out a Kanan Jarrus at all. So I have no idea. It only came in 1 minifigure. The headpiece is not particularly valuable, so I've messaged them about that. They were ordering 2 minifigure heads, so we'll see what they want to do about that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Gonna get these packed up and actually take them to the post office, because I've got a couple of things I need to collect whilst I'm there, break up the day. I'm just conscious about keeping concentrated and not trying to do too much at once in order to help me be a little bit more accurate this week. Slow down a little bit, try and make sure that the customer service is coming first. So I'll crack on with getting these ready for the post, get them done, come back, and then continue picking orders. It is what is it, Thursday evening, just got on 6 o'clock. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orders picked. This one is actually a small addition to a order that's going off to the States, so pretty minor, only kind of like 10 parts or something like that. But yeah, nice parts order off to the States. One behind that, Lego Movie Swamp thingamajig, and a whole lot of smaller parts, which might suggest a bit of greebling, a bit of trans, light blue, cones, circular bricks, and some dishes. Yeah, feels like greebling, that one. Lego Ideas Night, I think that might be from that castle, is it? I can't remember what that's from, that minifigure. And then some parts and another minifigure head in there. A massive pile of dark blue-grey bricks, 1x8s, 1x10s, 1x4s, 1x3s, it's all in there. Getting pretty low on a couple of those, so some stuff to restock. A little bit of green and some white plates as well. So yeah, good decent order, that one. And the biggest one I've done today, 500 and something lots. Very much feels like something castle-y. A lot of green, some dark blue and light blue grey, some medium nougat, aka nugget, reddish brown, a whole bunch of other bits and pieces in there, and some blue. So I don't know, kind of feels castle-y, that one to me. So I think we've done another, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's probably another 7 orders to go. But I'm not trying to do everything this evening. I've got another one of these boxes of draw liners that I want to decant into tonight, and I picked up another couple of orders from the post office, so some more parts, which I will try and tackle tomorrow now, because I don't want to try and do too much this evening. So yeah, I'm going to do the post for these ones now, so they're all boxed off and tidied away for the night, and then do the admin that backs it up. And then we do have a little pile of orders still over here. That one at the back is for Damien, who's a regular buyer. He's not coming till Sunday, so I'm just taking it easy on that one. It's only 120 lots. It's not parts even. It's not massive, but there's one here that is 4 orders for 1 buyer, and then there's a couple that are 1,600 parts, so they're big ones. So that is going to be tomorrow morning's challenge, to get through those and clear the decks so we can get some parts in ahead of the weekend. Right, postage. Good morning. It's Saturday, 10 AM. I didn't do any recording yesterday because it was a crazy busy day, catching up and getting everything sorted, and excuse me, getting everything sorted and out the door, and just generally trying to balance everything that was going on. So apologies that if your order was yesterday, it's been and gone. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this morning. It's accounting for, let's have a look, 125 lots, 600 and something odd items. The store has taken a pounding. Where's the thing? The store has taken quite a pounding over the last couple of days. The lot count dropping quite a lot, and the part count, what are we down, like maybe like 11,000 parts or something like that. So it has been a very busy week. I'm not sure what's wrong with my voice this morning. Anyway, it's been a busy week, and doing a couple of days of work certainly impacts in terms of playing catch up. This is the state of the other side of the room, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of parts that have come in to add to the other parts that were already here. The inlays, I've put them in. I only need another box of these, and then these other 3 will go into the storage unit because of the way that the used is being laid out at the moment. So there's a couple of orders that are for pickup. Damien, regular buyer, and this one is for another store. It's 2 separate orders, 10 items of the olive 2x1, 1x2 plates even, and the dark bluish grey jumper plates. The guy, Shane, usually comes and collects at some point, so they're all picked and ready to go. And then in other orders, we've got a couple of instructions. We've got Infinity Saga, is that Groot? And then we've got buildable Grogu, so Grogu and Groot. It's a tongue twister. We've got a used resistant fighter, and then a small parts order there. Russell, keeping me in business as usual. Thanks again, Russell and Harper. Although I fancy this one's more Russell's kind of order. Palpatine paper bag, not polybag anymore, are they? And the magazine to go with. A couple of vintage knights torsos and some white helmets, and a skeleton from the Pirates, plus a AAT polybag in that one. This one, a used and new little order, all light blue and dark blue grey all the way in that. One little printed tile within that, and a flat silver little aerial. And then another regular buyer, Elizabeth, and this kind of, she has in the past been the buyer that's done all Technic parts, and today it's all tiles. So a whole bunch of used tiles, pretty much clearing me out of each one of the ones that she's purchased, and then quite a selection of other tiles all in there. So yeah, was that 4? 5, because there was the the other one for Shane. So yeah, there's 5 there, all picked and ready to go. I'm going to sort the postage now, and then I'm going to take everything to the post office. Then I am going to come back and start the mammoth task of getting parts into the store. I have no idea how many parts we've got here. I'm thinking probably a fair amount. At a guess, probably more than 20,000 parts. So it will repair the damage from the week, which is good. But it has led to a conversation between Mrs. Yellow Brick Road and myself about efficiency in the store, because it has been an issue when I'm doing other work and orders are coming in, and then you end up with a backlog. You're paying catch up for 2 days, and the actual admin that goes with running a store gets kind of left by the wayside, and then you end up kind of behind, and you pretty much struggle to catch up. And as everyone knows, it's the weekend. I'm in here. I'm usually here the weekend. I'm in here every day. I'm in here late at night. I finished some work the other night at like 2 a.m. trying to clear the decks. So I'm not whinging about it. I'm just saying, if you are thinking of getting into this bricklinking, it is time consuming, and the bigger your scale, the bigger the orders, the more the orders, you do need to think about the efficiencies of it. So one of the things that worked okay when scale was smaller was bins like this. When scale was smaller and there wasn't a full bin and there wasn't as many colours, mixed bins worked okay. But as you get bigger, the rummaging, the finding and stuff like that is a delay that you don't need, and it leads to errors, that coupled with the printer that I still need to calibrate, but there's an endless list of jobs. Similarly with those jumper plates, things like that. So we're thinking of expanding. Not that you need to expand, not changing rooms, we're not moving, but we're thinking of moving into this cupboard, or at least moving the box sets that are in the left hand side of those wardrobes into this side, and using some kind of shelving system inside the wardrobe in here. Look at the mess. There's like bags of Lego on the floor, tangled up in the step ladders. So we're thinking of moving, you see the problem? Moving all of the box sets into the other side of the wardrobes, and then repurposing this area, maybe with a shelf like the postage stuff is on, to put other containers on, whether it is 5 litre containers or something else. We're going to see where we're at once I've got parts in today, which is why I need to get on with it, because the system works perfectly at some levels, and then at other levels you need to adapt, like this pile of poo show that's going on. So there's always things to think about, and I do overanalyze a little bit, even down to the picking. I've been trying to save paper by printing out the pick sheets smaller and things like that. Is that leading to errors? I'm picking up errors when I'm going through Brick Freedom. I'm managing to correct some of them, but there are errors getting through, as I said earlier in the week. Would I be better going to a digital picking thing? There's a couple of apps. Obviously Brick Freedom has its picking facility, but there's another one that I downloaded ages ago, which is a picking app. So I'm going to have a look at that. And it might be that we introduce an iPad onto the workstation that I'm picking from, so that it helps with the accuracy and things like that. Now I like getting a order sheet in with my order, but I don't think I would stop doing that, because I think it's a nice thing to get. It's part of the customer experience. But yeah, there's all these things that you need to think about. The nice thing in recent times is that the missus is well on board and well into it, and it's good to have somebody to bounce it off. But if you have thoughts or opinions, how do you tackle these issues? Please leave a comment down below. It'd be really interesting, and I think it's good for everybody that does comment and share on here, to be able to kind of get an insight like that. There's also a really good buyer mock, Saxon, who bought parts last week, I think. Was it last week or the week before? One of those. Anyway, he sent me his pictures, so that'll be at the end of this week's vlog as well. So it is pretty amazing. Like, Mrs. Yellow Brick Road was like, is that real? So definitely stick around for that. So postage to sort, deliveries to make, and then parts, which I will share as we go along, parts that we're bringing into the store, so that you kind of get an idea of what's new. And nearly missed an order. I was just going through checking off that I'd got all the domestic letter postage labels kind of on my sheet to print out, and there was this little bad boy sitting in the wings. So a small domestic letter order, just kind of I think it was only like 19 lots or something like that, predominantly tan, but one more to add to the pile. So that's me up to date. That feels good. So post office and then back to do parts. Okay, that's all of the Lego boxes opened. Fair old volume, actually. Strange that they were all ordered kind of days and weeks apart, but they all arrived at the same time, including a bat, which I did not order, but happy to have him. So I mean, this might be as boring as hell to everybody, but kind of this is what I'm going with. So Technic connectors, those things, it's real staples that are in here. Things that just sell through, things that are easier to get volume on Lego, or the price of them from Lego is more competitive. Predominantly kind of things that are either hard to get, like shields, things that I would like to have in store, like goats, or just things that are just difficult to come by, or things that are difficult to get in volume and I know kind of work and sell in volume. So it's all just kind of stuff for the store. So I don't think we'll be adding an awful lot of lots, but obviously we're going to be adding a fair amount of items, which is always good, isn't it? Some base plates, got some 16 by 16s and some 16 by 32s in blue and dark blue grey, some light blue grey, a whole wodge of slopes, loads of 2x1 bricks, and some more light blue grey slopes, which I do not need. Way too many of those, but a whole heap of them. So down to the nitty gritty of making up the BSX file for all of this before I can crack into the actual orders that I placed with some other stores. So first things first, get the BSX file done for this. Shane is on his way to pick up his order as well, so I better brush my hair. Okay, it's Sunday. Slight change of plans, pretty much because the plans changed, because the Mrs. Yellow Brick Road and myself have just had a bit of a weekend off. Been to the pub, we've had watched the rugby, had a Sunday dinner, but some sorting was done. So some top class sorting of circular bricks, and I can't really remember what parts they are. I think they're a modified plate, aren't they? Anyway, they've all been colour sorted to make it a little bit easier and try and start to make some efficiencies. None of this has been put away, and none of this has been tidied up, but I'm going to make a start on some of that after I've finished doing the vlog just now. A couple of mocks to show, and then that'll be it for the weekend, and then we'll be back here on Monday sorting out cupboards, sorting out boxes, stuff to the storage unit, and just generally getting back in business. So hope you've enjoyed this week, and thanks again to everyone that has commented and shared and whatnot. If you do have a mock that you're building that's been from parts in the store, do just drop me a message on Bricklink or on the comments below, and we'll take it from there. Would love to be able to show more of that for the store, kind of complete the circle of where all of these parts end up and the amazing things that you build with them. So until next week. Another week and some cracking mocks too this week, which is fantastic. I'm delighted to have them, and it's always lovely to know where the parts end up. So you may remember a while back Saxon was building a life-size Mandalorian helmet, and here it is. So the original on the right there, obviously, and his life-size version on the left, and it is massive, brilliant. Loving the use of those trans brown kind of panels down the nose piece and stuff like that. Looks really, really cool. That's amazing, incredible stuff. Here's the side view. Again, lovely detail around the earpieces. A real kind of work of art, isn't it? Kind of getting all of those wedge plates in to get the angle of the helmet moving around on both sides. It's certainly lovely. Love the angle as well, just a little tilt back as opposed to the Star Wars kind of helmet series one. Just does add this extra air of authority to it. At the back, again, kind of the grills, lovely, nicely done. Nice use of tiles through the back there. It's just a shame you can't get more silver parts, isn't it? Or this would be absolutely astonishing, wouldn't it? And a nice little touch here at the end. The yellow brick road tile making a feature in the build. So thank you so much, Saxon. Lovely to see that. Fantastic build. Our second one is Russell at it again. This time the lime green parts and stuff that you may remember. This time Elsa and her other half. I'm not sure if this is myself and Mrs. Yellow Brick Road still. I mean, Mrs. Yellow Brick Road is short, but she's not that short. What is she, 163 centimetres, something like that? Anyway, we're out spending up larger, maybe. I don't know, but lovely build. Another great little modular build, isn't it? Lovely double doorway, nice little sign up the top. Lovely use of the red, white and green colours for the pizza. Inside, someone's waiting for their order. Cash on the till. The use of the oar for the like the pizza paddle type thing, with the pizza oven with a little dial. Like lovely attention to detail. Cracking stuff that. Love the tiled checkerboard floor. A little chiller cabinet so you can see the cakes and pastries. Probably got some lovely cannoli in there, and it must be lovely because they've got an award as well. But continuingly great detail throughout this from Russell and Harper. Little top down view, get a good little view of the whole thing from that. And then pizza in hand, off I go. And as usual, I'm eating more than Mrs. Yellow Brick Road. But this may well be Harper and Russell going out for pizza as well. Probably much more likely to be their own build than another one. I'm just kind of hijacking it. But thanks again, Russell and Harper, for another cracking little build. Love that one. Really cute. Yeah, so impressed with people that can do all of this stuff. So far out of my comfort zone. I'm very much an instructions following type of person. If you've got a mock and you want to send it in, just reach out to me on Bricklink. Love to see it and see where the bricks end up. And that is it for this week. I'll be back on Monday. Actually, it will be Sunday because I've got to clear stuff in the store for another week of behind the scenes and all the usual nonsense. Thanks for watching.